this is part 2 of the Fire Sanctuary, and right off the bat, we see this poor Mogma just hanging for his life above this lava.
What cracks me up is he's hanging over lava, and the only thing he's thinking about right now is a hot bath for a sore shoulder. Like, why are you thinking that right now in this situation?
I'll tell you what, we can give him a hot bath real quick just by lowering.
Yeah, we can help out that sore shoulder, buddy.
Yeah, we can make that happen in a hurry if we really want to.
You know those guys right there kind of remind me of the Gorons that you actually have to save in the Fire Temple from Ocarina of Time.
Because there are 2 or 3 of these. There might be 3 Mogmas.
There's at least 2. I don't know if there's 3 or not. 2
or 3 that we have to save throughout, and that definitely brought back memories of, like you said, the Fire Temple and saving all those.
The only difference was Darunia didn't put us on a mission to save these guys like he did in the first one. He's like, go save those guys.
And it's like, I'll go fight the boss.
Yeah, exactly.
And he apparently failed at that. But anyway, at least in this one though, like saving all those Gorons kind of got annoying. There's only the 2 or 3 of them that you have to save in this one, and that's a big improvement.
Now you were saying like before we started commentary that you actually had a hard time figuring out the Gust Bellow could like take those fire or whatever it was called.
Ash or
the hot surface. What's called hot surface?
Whatever it is, it took me so long to realize the Gust Bellows will move that, and right there it wasn't a huge deal, but later on you have to use it to uncover an area you can dig into, and man, that just I was so frustrated.
I think a lot of times in this game, like if you got an item in a different type of dungeon, like we got the Gust Bellow in a desert dungeon, like you really didn't think to use it in a different concept fire dungeon,
not.
you know.
Like the only one that like really gets reused over and over again in this game was the beetle.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Which
we were fine with that.
Totally fine with that. But yeah, it never dawned on me to think that I was just like, oh, that's hot lava. You can't run there. You know that?
Yeah, exactly. As Red mentioned in part 1, like with the whole water, I really did like how they had water in a fire dungeon. We've seen it before already, but seeing all these like little water drops right here just hanging all over the place, like how do these things even grow here?
It's crazy, and like that kind of goes back to what I mentioned too with the vines. It's like just seeing all this plant life. Like in here, you're like, how does it survive?
And there's a lot in this room. That's really the first time that we've seen like that much of it.
Yeah, and I think it's just it's like you said, just having the water-based stuff and just it's a different touch to a fire dungeon.
Yeah, I love how you throw in like in the frog's mouth right here. Doesn't really make a lot of sense how that whole concept works. Like, is that like a live frog right there? See, he licks his lips and I think he does. Yeah.
Yep. And he ribbits.
And he swallows and he ribbits. So like, is that a real frog right there or? That's just weird, dude.
At least we never have to fight him. It's not like the Majora's Mask frog. You have to fight 3 times.
The whole what's it called? The frog choir guy.
Yeah. Not a big fan.
That's a pain. Yeah, Don Garo. That's right.
But I do like how that's the same concept you had to use to get into this dungeon. Was to get past the.
Oh, that's right. Because you had to take Skipper.
Yep.
Oh man, that's a pain of an escort mission right there. Yeah, you had to leave Skipper all the way to the top and then drop that big jug of water to get in here. That's right.
Oh, don't get me started on escorting Skipper around.
Yeah, I was talking about part. Yeah, well,
you know my feelings.
Well, I tried to get the subject and you kept on talking about it. But I'm like in the part 1, I was talking about how I really like how the rooms look, and here's one right here. I just think this room is just beautiful. Lot of detail that just makes it stand out.
Plus the look of that boss, or the mini boss, I guess.
Yeah,
just looks awesome. Just the effects of the lava on those hands coming out. And this room, like you said, just running around on this grate or fence or whatever. With the hands coming out underneath after you. It is a great room.
I love the concept of this mini boss fight. Like throw the water on them, it makes them. Hardens them. Yeah, exactly. And then you kill them. I mean, I just like that concept.
And I like the music that's playing right now. Like this mini boss music it's a little different. I'm a fan.
With this dungeon, actually, the theme, in my opinion, fits this dungeon. Like it's something very small, and we've not talked about the theme like we do in a lot of dungeons actually that are good. But like, I think it just fits this dungeon.
It does. I mean, it's yet another one of those things that the Zelda creators just nail every single time.
One example of when I did hate the motion controls was right here. Be stupid. I call them water bulbs. I don't know exactly what the name of them is.
Me neither.
But man, they were a pain with those things.
Well, the thing is, if you accidentally swung your sword or your controller just a little bit, you threw the water bulb, and you had to go all the way back and get another one. Very frustrating.
Well, it seems those things seem like they're so easy to puncture.
They were. But that was just a really fun mini boss concept.
It was.
He wasn't the hardest in the world.
No, it wasn't.
Or anything, but
if you're like if Red and I are playing, none of the bosses are really that hard.
Of course not.
We walk in, these guys like, get out of our way. Get out of our way, Slappy. Shoot, boss, get out of our way.
Now, this guy's got to be disappointed. He wanted that hot bath, but now the lava's gone.
Well, you know what? We're saving him so he can figure it out on his own.
He does reward us, though.
He can go to the springs in Twilight Princess.
There you go.
He can travel there. You have to wake up 100 years, but according to the timeline.
They look like a long-lived species.
Yeah, exactly.
We should have just tried lowering him. I wonder what would happen if you tried lowering him into the lava before it was, not to be sadistic.
Yeah, I don't think you could because that switch right there, that's underneath the lava, so you couldn't let him go.
Makes sense, makes sense. Not that we would ever throw one of our allies into the lava.
We need a bomb arrow from Twilight Princess in this game and just shoot that chain. I bet there's people that have tried to do that.
Oh, I'm
Shoot
sure.
that chain right there just to be like, oh, you want me to save you? Wham!
You can handle a little lava, can't you?
You would think they could because most of the enemies that we found, like in fire dungeons, are there because they can survive fire elements.
These guys apparently not so much. They're just greedy treasure hunters.
Yeah.
That's all they are. But he does reward us for saving him, so it's not all bad. And it seems like kind of early in the dungeon that we're about to get the dungeon item here.
Yeah, he kind of is. I mean, like I said, I'm not a big fan of the item, but I kind of do like the concept of digging underground here that we'll do here in a little while. It's kind of a time consuming a little bit, but it's something different that may stand out a little bit.
And as usual, it's a well implemented way to explore the dungeon. But it would have been more fun to get a weapon.
Yeah, it's the first time we've ever mispronounced anything in any of our commentary. Or said the wrong word.
Yeah, I mean the upgraded mitts look pretty cool though, in that little where you hold them up there. But
one thing I don't like though is I don't like getting an upgrade item in the same type of concept. I like fire. Like I'm talking about fire. I don't like getting an upgrade item in the same type of dungeon. Yeah,
it almost seems like a bit of a cop-out.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you got the mitts in the first volcano, we're going to give you the upgraded mitts in the second volcano.
I think this dungeon could have been a lot better if they would introduce a whole new weapon.
Yeah.
And while they did introduce a new concept, introducing another new concept with that weapon.
Yeah, and I did like this concept of kind of coming to the underground areas. You get the top-down view.
I do like that.
Like a nice little throwback to the old Zelda games where all you had was the top-down. But well, for one, I got disoriented a lot later on.
Well, actually, I don't know if you know this, but the way you go down in the hole actually makes the layout differently. I was trying to talk past that part so you wouldn't see it, but yes, I did just run right into that hot surface.
You just wanted that hot bath on your shoulders too. That's all.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking right there, man.
It happens. But man, it was like you said. If you
motion controls.
Yeah, motion controls
is the problem right there.
It was the controller.
Yeah,
sensitive controller.
It's always the controller. It's never two guys' fault.
No. I will say, like we kind of mentioned a few minutes ago, some of the underground areas, they can be time-consuming because it takes a little while to crawl around. You have to work your way all the way around. I mean, it's not so much a big deal right now, but in some of the later ones, we spend a lot of time in the underground area.
Well, like I was saying, the way you go down in the hole changes the outlook of the underground surface. So you say you get disoriented, it can really be multiplied because if you go down different ways, the underground area looks completely different.
Just it's a bit of a pain in the neck. It is always good to get a new concept in the game, like we said, but also like we said, it wasn't our favorite thing in the world.
Yeah, and right here we're actually making our way to we're kind of going out of the way right here in the dungeon, but we're going to actually get the last bottle right now. So
which is it's handy to get.
Well, not so much in this game because they have the item check. Yeah. And it really just goes up to the item check, and that's the one thing I didn't like about this game is you were limited on the items that you could use from what you got.
Especially the different medallions and things like that you could buy or get. Like a heart medallion.
Yeah.
Or you get a treasure medallion, things like that. And you can only carry so many at a time.
If I work hard to get these items, I want to be able to use them all.
Yeah.
Where's Mad Batter when we need him? That allows us to carry more items. We need a Mad Batter from Link's Awakening to allow us to carry more items.
Man, that's quite a throwback from Skyward Sword to Link's Awakening.
Wow. That's how we just commentated it before this. But
that was a small annoyance in this was that, having to be limited in items like that.
It really was. But at the same time, you really did have to use a lot of potions. This game, you didn't lose your health. Well, we did. But, most people, don't really have a problem in this game.
And it's weird that they had, I think there's a stamina potion where it's your stamina regenerates in almost no time anyway.
Yeah.
You don't
now, this game didn't have fairies, though, right?
There are very few, I think, in this one, because there was actually one earlier in this part, or in part one, that came out of a bottle.
Oh, okay, I did remember seeing that, yeah.
It came out of a pot that you
But you gotta catch it with your net, and I just don't remember doing that very often. I just got some red potions, because
that's what I do.
I think they filled up quite a bit of your life in this game.
I think so, too, and I think you can get them upgraded as well. To fill it up even more.
But you had to catch all those dumb bugs, so I didn't end up doing it, but
trust me, I relied on the potions, especially against some of the later bosses in this game, I'd go through 3 or 4 bottles worth.
Yeah.
2 or 3. How many bottles?
You know, one thing I also like about this is that how they kind of bring back like a darker aspect too throughout some of the rooms. You know, like so obviously fire's making it a little bit more brighter.
Yep.
Then obviously when you're outside it's brighter, but then every once in a while you got some of those dark concrete rooms that kind of just throw a little wrench in like the whole dungeon.
It's like we mentioned how colorful of a dungeon it is, like you said, but yeah, it's nice to get that contrast, and I think this game did it better than any other Zelda game.
I agree with you. I agree with you on that.
Now that we've gotten our final bottle, this wraps up part 2 of the Fire Sanctuary.